Okay, we do have ourselves a live game to watch. This is the Challengers League in the group stages. Not sure what the name of this group is, but it's going to be Alapesu, Japanese streamer and very strong player on this side, the right side in the red, playing as his Uranos. And on this side is, I guess you would call him professional gamer, 3D Garneth from the 3D clan. So not so much an Age of Mythology kind of expert, but he plays AoE 4 at a pretty high level and coming across to Age of Mythology to see what he can do. He's been in other tournaments too. So this isn't his first tournament that he's joined, but he is quite strong, along with his partner from the 3D clan, which is 3DB, who's in the Champions League. So two strong players. He's decided to go in with his Thor. I always think Thor on this map is an interesting choice because, yes, this map is super open, so you normally want to kind of sit in your base, which makes Thor good because you can get your Dwarven Armory down, you can keep using these gold mines, sit inside your base and kind of be happy and sit back and chill. The other thing is the map has goats on it. And if you're going for this fast Dwarven Armory build with no second Berserk, then it means that you don't really get as many goats as your opponent does. Could be unlucky as the Uranos and not find many goats, but normally because you have 3 scouts, it's just going to be pretty easy. Like we'll see, we're 147 into this map, and Alapesu has scouted pretty much everywhere that could have goats. He's just missed this section off down here, which could have goats in it, but pretty much everywhere else, he's absolutely nailed it. So I imagine that he's done well. But actually, the Thor has managed to get a decent amount as well. So we'll see what he can do there. Now, just before the game, I was mentioning that I think Alapes will be a good Uranos player. Now, I know that Alapes has been training with the Mister. He's in their kind of little clan of training partners. And the Mister plays a mean Uranos. Very aggressive style. So we'll see if that is what Alapes wants to go for. And I think he is. He is going for a kind of pretty fast advance time. Not as fast as you can go, not like Chronos Rush style, when actually he isn't. He's getting an extra villager out. So I have seen it on the ladder a little bit too, where these players are going for a kind of 3-minute advance time with Uranos, putting on some super early pressure with the Caladria and the one hero Mamillo to kind of get some damage done. And it could be working out pretty well, but deciding to go for a bit of a more normal uptime with more eco behind it, which is a 4-minute, which is pretty slow for the Atlantean Civ. But slow doesn't necessarily mean bad. And it looks like there is a relic wants to be grabbed here. Unfortunately, I can't really grab it. Yes, it is. Tale of Cerberus. Just myth units use their special attacks more often, which is insane for the Caladria. Second hero, Oracle, this side, which is heroes do more damage to myth units. So Thor could be going for a decent amount of myth units, could be getting some good trolls in. Trolls are a great defensive unit. Could also be going Freya, so dealing with those Valkyries, always a good option. You'll probably want to go for this relic as well, which is ranged soldiers are a little bit cheaper. And an Oracle is going to be spotting that one at some point. The Thor, obviously quite a slow kind of early game. Pretty standard. I think that's another reason why they're probably picked quite well on this map. Just because you do have the 2 gold mines quite often. So it's nice and to sit back and get a late uptime, unless you're going for a second town center, which doesn't normally happen anyway. So we have this side, we have the military barracks going up, and I assume some more Caladrias to come through at some point. The Caladria is going to be coming forward for Alapes, just to be having a little scout around. I wonder if you win Challengers League, does that mean that you can play in the next Champions League? That's what it used to mean when the Champions Leagues were on the old game. I'm not sure what Boyd's going to decide to do for this one because it's his tournament. So whether or not they'll be invited to the next one, if he decides to do another one, or whether or not it will be similar to this one where you can kind of play for your place. Although there was people invited, so maybe he will do that. Some kind of if you win. There's nothing about it in the handbook. I think it will just be depending on if he wants to go for another tournament or not, or another tournament of the same effect, let's say. So Hero Mamillo is coming through. There is no super early pressure. I think Garneth didn't get any upgrades, whereas there's no upgrades on this side. I swear I saw some pickaxes and hand axes coming through. But looks like I didn't. There is a husbandry. And goat check. We like to do goat checks on these kind of maps. So it was 10 versus 10. So the Thor did pretty well considering. And actually, he is going to be able to get 12 unless these Mamillo are going to come in to stop it. And still, I think for the Thor, that's a pretty good start. And the Thor also going in, he's got all his 3 starting armory upgrades. So that's 3 extra dwarfs. And he's going to be able to get Hammer of Thunder. There was a bit of a Thor buff in the last patch, which is why I think Thor's probably one of the better Norse civs to use, one of the Norse gods, just because he gets these cheaper armory upgrades. So it's a little bit easier to get your early build off now, considering you save quite a bit of resources if you're getting loads of them. The throwing axeman just not getting much done on his lonesome because he gets slowed down by the Caladria. The Caladria heals up whoever he's attacking, and the temple could eventually go down. Now that the troll's here, the troll could get some good damage done, and there's no hero Terma, so there's nothing really to deal with the troll. Deciding to drop a very early healing spring. I think there's a good radius to put it in though. Defends this gold mine, so if any damage goes on these dwarves, it will heal it up very, very quickly. The same with this one on this side. So absolutely fine. And what is the Aranos really going for? Looks like Alopesu, for the time being, he is kind of full send on units. Does have the Thor trapped in his base for the time being, so he could easily go on these caribou, could easily go on the gold mine. Obviously, he can always put down his sky passages to make it even easier for himself. Could potentially save this back one for later. One of the best things about Aranos is you can put a sky passage down even quite far forward, steal your opponent's hunt, and then go back to your safe hunt later on. But Alopesu deciding not to go for that one. Also deciding to kill these ones off. I'd just much prefer to see one villager walk forward, whack a sky passage down, eat all this, and then just run home. But it's also an option to go for. And he is deciding to do that on this side. But it looks like Garneth has almost sniffed that one out. He's saying, this is probably where you're going to be. I think the citizens should be able to build this in time. They build it so quick. 10 seconds on it. So the berserks don't have enough damage to take out these citizens if they jump straight in. Looks like he has spotted the low HP one, but the low HP one can just jump back in, be absolutely fine. You can jump out the full HP one, and the low HP one can just sit back at home. Is there no sky passage back at home? No. So it looks like Alapes is going to have to run his units over here. And then does just pop his units back this side. So the sky passage does go down. So there is walking time for 2 villagers. Surprised to see him not keep one of the villagers out this side, because his army is coming back. There was no chance of him really going down. But it's going to kind of take the walking time there. So nice play from Garneth to push that one back. And also going for a raid on this side. Just these 4 berserks causing so many problems. Because that is a mana up here. It isn't a sky passage. So the villager's kind of going to be stuck there. The 4 this side, though, are being slowed down by the Caladrias. If anyone says Caladrias aren't OP, they are just wrong. They're so good. They're damn slow. And full berserks for Garneth. You see with their upgrade, with this upgrade here, the Dwarven Breastplate, they just have 55% hack armor, which is absolutely crazy. And there is a raid coming up on this side, which is going to make that one villager sit inside the manor for quite a while. So idling for the time being. Alapes is going to try and get some good damage done on this side, but I mean, there's so many blue units. I think Alapes should win this fight, though. He does have a shockwave, which he can shockwave the back line, take out the front line, or shockwave the front line, take out the back line, whatever he decides to do. Also has enough Terma to deal with the throwing axeman. And there's not really anything there to deal with the Terma. Looks like one of the oracles went down too, so Garneth getting so much value from this side. Citizen will be able to heal up the mana, and there is enough Mamillo here to at least scare the berserk off, especially when the Caladria come back as well. Normally the Mamillos win that fight, but I think berserks, I haven't seen them with 55% hack armor. I assume they still lose that fight just because the Mamillos have so much poison damage. And Dwarven Mine used. Now, a very early Dwarven Mine, meaning that he might want to get it off of cooldown, so he's going to get it on cooldown later on, just get the gold while he can. But maybe just wanting the superior gold income for the time being. It's kind of like a mini prosperity. You just gain the gold a little bit quicker than if you were on a normal gold mine. So potentially that's what he's going for. Just wants that 1,000 gold influx of extra resources very, very quickly. There's a wall coming up on this side to eventually secure this gold mine. But Alabhes's army is looking a bit scary. But it seems like the military resource value is so, so close. The issue is it doesn't account for Shockwave, Carnivora, or these Caladrias, really. It also doesn't look at just the sheer counters that Alapes has compared to no real counters for these Terma. I guess there are some raiding cavalry now, and if the Berserks get on them, they should trade decently. And Alapes is trying to run around the side. He's just still spamming units, getting his copper weapons in, getting his copper armor. Getting some catapulties in, even. Nice snipes with these Terma. Even moving away from some of the rocks getting thrown by these trolls. And gets a couple of snipes, and he is just going to run back a little bit. The armory situation for Garner. So does he just still have the 4? No, actually, he's getting a lot of armor. So that 55 is thanks to getting bronze armor. If he can manage to get bronze weapons too, even these towers is going to defend very, very nicely. But Bragi is halfway through as well. I think Alapes should think about going up to the next stage, getting Chaos at some point. Chaos, such a good counter to that flaming weapons. Basically makes your opponent not want to use flaming weapons in case they get chaosed, because then they'll just do more damage to their own units. You have to watch out for that one. Some Kyra Ballista coming through. The issue is the flaming weapons is going to be huge now because there is no chaos to counter it. Looks like Alapes is going for it anyway. He can shockwave some of the units, so flaming weapons might not matter as much. Looks like he does get rid of the front line, raiding cavalry off of those Terma, so the Terma can just deal with the main damage dealers from the blue side, which is the throwing axeman. And it looks like Alapes just really wants to fight this one against the flaming weapons. It's always rough to fight into flaming weapons. You just kind of, when you see that button used, you just got to run away. And unfortunately, Alapes does think he can win that one. Oh, he didn't have to fight it. He could have just ran. Yes, he's going to lose some units retreating. But I think he just kind of overstayed there. And Garneth plays it pretty well. He gets his flaming weapons. He uses it straight away and pushes out. And that does allow all of these dwarves to move over to the gold mine. It allows him to now get some longhouses up in the front. He can put some walls up. He can drop a hill fort down. And he's in a pretty good position right now. From Alapes' side, he needs to get some raids off somewhere. He needs to do something that's nowhere near this big army. The big army is too scary for the time being. And needs to get something done there. What he can do, though, is sit next to one of these sky passages. And if he has a decent amount of units to deal with the raiders, he can just jump out the sky passage, win that fight, jump back in, be absolutely fine. So the villagers, are they going to get caught out? Alapes, unfortunately, didn't look on this side. This villager's going to get caught out. Potentially this one as well. All 3 villagers look like they're going to go down. They're trying to get around the side. A huge raid from the Thor. And everything is going Garneth's way right now. Even decides to go to town center. Why not? Why not? Does also secure this, kind of. So pretty good town center to grab, especially after winning that fight. And taking down a couple of villagers too. Now, where is next for Alapes? Where is he going? He's got some more units out. He's got some heroes. He's got some Kyra Ballista in the backside. Didn't have the Kyra Ballista for the last fight, as they were in the queue, but they were a little bit slow to get over there. Would have been pretty huge to take out some of the front line, or even deal with the throwing axemen. They do okay against throwing axemen. They're a little bit far away, so not all of the shots hit, but still can be good. Military barracks kind of being hacked down, but yeah, the catapulties will chase them away pretty easily. Is this one just being pushed along? I don't think that one's flying. Anyway. Does decide just to sack the one unit while lets the others get away. getting out another Oracle. Wants to go into maybe recasting some of these god powers a little bit more frequently, or maybe just wants more heroes. Looks like Alapes doesn't have much favor in the bank. He must just be prioritizing getting these heroes out to deal with some of these myth units. No real myth units coming through from Garneth. Does have the one battle ball. I think there was one in the queue also, so it's getting a few more. Now he has access to however many gold mines he wants. He definitely can go for those battle boars. They're so strong, but it just costs loads of gold. And this is what I wanted to see earlier. Sneaky getting onto his opponent's Caribou. There's no reason not to. Especially as he's got the vision to see when some of these units will actually come for him. Yeah, he sees a decent amount. If they come from this side, I mean, it's fine. He's right next to the Sky Passage. Shouldn't be any problems. We just see the sheer amount of blue on this map. Hillfort coming down on this side. Also Garneth securing this gold mine. The only one he hasn't done is this. I assume that's what he's standing there for. Doesn't have the resources in right yet to build anything next to it, but potentially that's what he's going to go for. And yes, he does. So he's going to have a building on every gold mine on the map. So when Alapes is going to go for it, he knows. There is 1,500 left in his home gold mine. So doesn't need to panic right now, but needs to win this next fight pretty handily. So whether or not he can go somewhere where Garneth's units aren't is probably his best bet. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to deal with that one. It's like a Sky Passage is trying to get on this side. But won't be able to. He will figure that out when he gets there. What can Alapes see? Yeah, so he can't see that that gold mine's got anything on it. Garneth is going straight for it. There is going to be a Chaos coming in at some point, but needs to get his units there beforehand. Could even just Chaos some of the back line, take out the front line. It looks like they're trapped here. The units are making their way out. So there's just a tiny little gap. Should be able to take out the military barracks. You just don't want to use Chaos on too many units, because then it just only lasts for about 2 seconds, and you don't get any value. Caladria over this top side. Lots of throwing axemen trying to hit them. Just needs to keep running them backwards and forwards while going for the main army. Could be nice, but nice focused fire from Garneth. There is the Chaos coming in. Kyrballister trying to take those out as well. Now going after the throwing axemen. No watchtowers, so the defensive setup isn't as strong as it possibly could be, but there's no way to actually attack these Kyrballister. So Alapes has a nice setup where that's concerned, but the battle boar's so strong. And it looks like Alapes is defending pretty nicely. Pretty even in terms of numbers, but all the numbers are here for Alapes, whereas for Garneth, they all have to run across the map. So it has managed to defend. Sky Passage did manage to get up on this side, but some dwarves got converted over to Berserks. We'll be able to take that one out pretty quickly. And there is 1,000 gold left. No Chaos. 1 minute or 2 minutes left on that Chaos. So could wait those 2 minutes before going out. Could just choose his fights, pick his fights nicely, and then won't need it. He just doesn't want a full head-on engagement with both armies in an open space, because he will lose. The reason he did so well there is all of the Kyrballister was sat behind this armory. There was no way to actually touch them, and he had his Chaos. Whereas if he's out in the open, some of these Huskarls get on the back line. There's nothing he can really do. There's not that many heroes either to deal with the battle boars. There's 3 battle boars. Just tank for so long. Also getting their health back. Slowly, but they are getting their health back. And this is where he needs to take the fights, and definitely knows it. Kyrballister sat there. They just can't do anything to actually take those out. Saty is on the back line too. The gold miners are getting attacked. Can run straight in the sentry tower. Shouldn't be a problem. But the throwing axemen not actually getting that much damage done to units. It's managing to snipe some citizens. But the front line here is standing up for so long. Could even jump through the town center, do a bit of micro that way. Portable rams though, absolutely chunking. Saty is dealing with the backline pretty nicely. There are only 2 Kyrballister left over. I think there's one. Is there one hero? No, there's literally only 2 left. Town center does go down. But the really strong backline for Alapes is still standing there. Pretty rough position to be in. There is another Dwarven mine for Garneth going in. But I think Garneth's units are all going to go down. It's just whether or not Alapes can really get out and get a gold mine. He's lost basically all of his units. Sky Pasture on this side going down. See, we have the fortress here. There's nowhere else to get gold from, especially if he needs to spend gold to get his settlement back up. It's looking rough. Yeah, the Vil count is he lost so many on that last fight, and Garneth's had 2 TCs for at least 5 minutes now. He's had it for a while after he won that last fight, and yeah, he's going to have to spend 300 gold-ish getting a settlement up. I think Alapes has a nice defensive setup, but to try and push out to get a gold mine, it's very difficult, and Garneth is getting another town center. It's going to be skyrocketing in villagers, getting to that pop cap very soon. I think even though Garneth maybe overstayed there, it was just to take out more of Alapes' stuff. He just knows that he just wants him to spend gold, basically. Getting some destroyers. Definitely a good option. But yeah, it doesn't have the favor either. Because he's sat back in his base, there's no way to really get these oracles out. He did build some more earlier, but they're just all being taken down. There they go. The boys are stomping in. They will eventually be able to take out this hill fort. And Alapes, he's trying to bait nicely, but whether or not, I think he's just a little bit too far behind. Yeah, there's no overreaction from the Thor. They're just running over. Got a decent amount of units, just enough just to take out the destroyers and enough to win the fight on this side. Even if there was a chaos, I think Garneth's got more than enough units to deal with this one. Whether or not the Satyrs can really do enough, but I mean, there's so many of these Goaties. Got 6 Goaties. They're going to go down. Each one, just shift click on them. All going to go down. Try him with the Calatria Micro, but it's not enough. Garneth does manage to take that one. Yeah, it was all thanks to that Flaming Weapons push this side, or Flaming Weapons defense, rather. And I think Alapes just needed to step back. There's no reason to fight the Flaming Weapons unless you have to. So it's always worth stepping back, but well played to Garneth. And we move on to the next one. Let's get him up 1-0. Okay, we've made our way into game 2. It's Alapes Garneth again. Garneth with a pretty nice defense on that last one with his Flaming Weapons to finish off Alapes, really, and then just pushing from there, gets his advantage, carries on. So on this side, we're going to have Alapes is actually in with the Fuji this time. I think Fuji is probably one of the strongest gods in the game currently, if not the strongest. I think he's so good, especially if you want to go for your tree very early on in a place that gets lots of favor. Maybe this isn't the best one that gets lots of favor, but it's also one that's quite defensive. I think this map is kind of difficult to get maximum favor without putting it out in the open to be stolen. So it just means you can get extra Quafus out, basically, and he can live a very nice life. And on this side, we have Garneth playing the Hades on a very wide open map as Steppe, deciding to get his Sentinels out nice and early, potentially wanting to build around these. I think that's the only reason that I would drop Sentinels kind of pre 1 minute, is to drop them down so I know where they're going. So I can go, okay, I want to put some houses around them, or some walls, or maybe you want to, build your military buildings around them. And Garneth is going for the super duper early Volts of Erebus with the 4 villagers praying, which is basically as fast as you're willing to sacrifice the villager time to get. It's also even just going in for 1 storehouse with the walking time. So he's going to have that 200 wood pretty early on. So nice play from him to kind of realize that one. So he's going to get a very early Volts of Erebus. Whether or not the Fushi is going to go for a very fast advance time like he did in the last game. The Aranos went for, it was a 4 minute actually, it wasn't super aggression. But if the Fushi wants to, he can go for those Pioneers quite early on and put some pressure on this side. Obviously the Sentinels will try and put a stop to this. But how this Sentinel is, it's kind of radius stops here, whereas the Pioneers can come around the side, kind of pick off the villagers chopping wood this side. Obviously that means Garneth could easily move in, not an issue at all. But that is something to kind of worry about. I mean, Hades isn't always a god you really do want to rush. We'll see how many Quafus Alapes is going for. He does have the 2 out already, getting a 3rd one. So playing it very nicely, getting his temple out with, again, a decent amount of favor. income on his side and potentially going for a similar advance time to what he did last time, a kind of 4-minute, what is that going to be? 4-minute 20-ish when this one manages to come out, 4:15, something along those lines. Decided to go Shio, which is the aggressive option. I mean, both can be played aggressive, but normally when you see Shio, it means you can get those Yatsas out, which are like the Anubites basically, and get some good damage done, which is what we like to see. House coming up even to maximize that favor income. We'll be able to get another Quafu out when he gets to the next age. So not going like super Quafu, not going for 4 Quafus in the archaic age. It does mean you manage to end up with like a 5-minute uptime. So I think 3 definitely makes sense. But again, from the Hades, it's not a god you expect to be rushed with early, so you can go for these later advanced times. So Garneth, from this side, he's picked the Thor and he's picked the Hades. Both of these, they advance so late, or they can, just to get maximum archaic age income, basically. So he will be able to get up to the next stage at about 5 minutes, 5 minutes 10, if he clicks up now. And he is going to click up now, and he is going through Ares. So we did have a bit of speculation in the chat, some theory crafting of what this Hades could be. And it could be the Cyclops into Underworld strategy from, it was known as the JA Special when it was first introduced to everyone's life. So we'll see if that's what Garneth will be going for. I know Garneth did play quite early on, similar to B, both from the 3D clan. They did play in the first tournament. So potentially he was around for the time where that Cyclops strategy was really, really strong. You don't see it anymore. The Cyclops have been nerfed. You just don't really see as much Hades play in general. And normally the Hades players that do play Hades play the ultra defensive 2TC into kind of archers sit back and do nothing for the time being until they feel like moving out when they hit their super late game power spike, where they get their Hephaestus in and, you know, get all their armory upgrades. Then they feel like attacking. Alapes is going to send in his Yatza. There is going to be a Minotaur. The Minotaur spawns in this little cubby, which is not ideal, which means there is a villager snipe from Alapes. Nice bit of villager shank micro. For anyone that wants to do this, basically, if your unit is being attacked, you can attack with something else to snare it up, which slows it down. And, okay, how did the Cyclops hit that? But anyway, say this one's being attacked because it's low HP. You just hit it with its buddy, and then it slows him down, so he won't be able to get the last hit off. But the Cyclops apparently has a very long club that could hit Alapes's myth unit there. Oh, and this is a little bit scary. The Pioneers are in, but Achilles is a great option for that. But Najar's in, is trying to bait him out, but Garneth's Achilles not biting that bait. I was a bit worried for Alapes then. Basically, the Pioneers don't snare, which is what we're talking about. They don't slow anything down. So it means that the Achilles can just wail on them and would easily win. But there was enough there to deal with it. Najar, basically like 1.5 Greek heroes. I would say maybe 1.5 classical Greek heroes. Pretty close to the heroic age hero, or classical age hero, let's say. Not archaic one. Anyway, moving on. The classic Hoplite Toxoid comp of Garneth coming in. And the Cyclops just chilling back at home. It's very difficult to move around on the map with the Cyclops against Fuji. Just if the Najar gets on it, there's nothing that he can really do. He's too quick, does too much damage, has that fire damage, the dot damage over time. Very difficult to deal with. And Alapes, is he just going for Quafu? So he's auto-queuing the Quafus with villagers. It works out pretty well for the eco. You could just auto-queue villagers and then auto-queue Quafus and then whack in peasants if you don't have enough favor. That's what I've seen some other players do. I think watching Soup stream, that's what he kind of does, is auto-queues the Quafus out because that's what he wants. But it looks like Alapes is now going the other way. He's going just auto-queuing villagers, and then he will, if he has the 10 favor, he'll just whack a Quafu in. And this is the power of China right now. They're just too good, basically, in terms of eco. Everything else got nerfed, so everything but their eco did get a little bit of a nerf. But then their eco got buffed for some unknown reason, which makes them so strong. And against a Hades, I mean, the Hades sit-back style isn't really going to work out in the long run. Garneth will have to get some damage done. I mean, it looks like he is going for some kind of timing attack with these Elder Cyclops. You could also just walk them across the map. It's not something we see very often, because if they get caught out, there's nothing you can really do. So he must be going for that Underworld. I think this is an underrated upgrade, which is Enyo's Bow of Horror, which makes your Toxotes attack faster, doesn't it? Yeah, makes them attack faster, do more damage. Which is pretty nice for the Classical Age archers. And then as soon as you get up to the next stage as Hades, you get that ballistics in. And yeah, just spamming out more archers. And what is Alapes doing? Is he stopped his Quafus? No, he's spending his favor pretty nicely. Not deciding to get any myth units out. Kind of just patrolling with his units. You need 17.14 favor per minute to continuously produce Quafu. Okay. What have we got here? Not enough. Not enough, basically. So, well, you just have to whack in a villager every now and again, I guess. Now Alapes back to auto-queuing them. I mean, if Alapesu realizes what's happening, he can just sit back and wait for it to come if he feels like he can defend it. Actually, this is where I kind of want to bring in a point which I saw on the Balance Discord. I don't really say much on the Balance Discord just because I feel like I don't play enough to know the difference, you know the power levels when you're actually playing. It's very easy when you're kind of watching. But there was a point about... Well, let's have a look at what's going on first. You see how quickly these Cyclops get melted by the Pioneers. They had the Divine damage in as well. So perfect fighting from the Fuji here. The Cyclops just can't do anything, which is why we say you kind of need the Underworld with them. Managed to almost take out 2, and now Garneth will run away. He really wanted this outside hunt, which normally when we see the Heroic Age coming in from these Hades players, they don't build any hoplites. They just go Toxotes, they go Cyclops, so they've got enough to defend. But if you build the hoplites, you can't get up to the next stage. But anyway, what I was saying about the Balance Discord is the line of sight. The lanterns from the Chinese are just so strong, and I think it's underrated of how good they are. It's absolutely busted how much line of sight you can actually get if you just build loads of these Pioneers and all the Cyclops go down. That costs so much. Well played by Alapes. He also has his lightning weapons coming in, so all of that front line is just going to get obliterated. There's going to be only Toxotes left. You're not really going to stop those because they can run away. They were far enough away. But a huge power spike for Alapes now. He's got so much army. The Cyclops... I mean, how many resources were spent on those Cyclops? It was probably about 1,000 resources on the Cyclops themselves, if you don't count favor, just on the sheer normal resources of them, just the food. And then it also had the upgrade, so at least like 1,200. If you count favor, probably 1,500, 1,600 maybe. Absolutely brutal. But yeah, these Sky Lanterns, you can just see so much. And I think it's one of the things which makes China at the very top level even more busted than they otherwise would be, because you can just see so much. Like, fair enough, Egyptians, you can put obelisks down everywhere. The obelisks are really cheap, but you can't see into your opponent's base without running a unit through, whereas you can just whack up one of these lanterns every 10 to 15 seconds or whatever it is, and you don't lose anything for going to check exactly what your opponent's doing. It's so good. This is why Poseidon Cyclops are better. Well, because they're faster, because they could have run in and dealt some damage. Oh, this just feels bad. You really don't want to run after these. And new bar coming. We never see new bar. Why would you go new bar if you want to finish off the game, I guess? So new bar has the Taoties, if that's how you say them. It's the kind of one that swallows up a unit and then spits them back out to do some damage. Do you have the Archer upgrade? Potentially that's what Alapes is after. And then, of course, they have the big Drought God Power, which is nice for a big push. And Alapes is in just such a commanding position. He's decided to stop his Quafus for the time being. Does have 50 favor to spend on whatever he wants. What's the kind of Quafu situation? He's got 3 Quafus here. Got 7. He didn't build any more. So he's got 7 Quafus, which is quite a lot, to be honest. Garneth going for it again. But I feel like it's going to go very similar to last time. He just needs to sit back for now. Or get up to the next stage. Now Nubar is coming in. It's like a Toxote raid on this side. Not something you see every day. If you're coming from another game like AoE 2, maybe this would be quite normal, coming in with a raid for the archers. But the archer micro is just, it isn't quite the same. You can't just infinitely dodge arrows if you're good enough. It's just, they don't quite work like that. So the archer raid's not as strong. And then, yeah, the snaring up of units as well. So, gets a bit of pressure, but they were Quafus. Quafus just have so much HP. And there will be Nubar coming in. Whereas Garneth still spamming the units. So we'll see what the Heroic Age can really bring for Alapes. Whether or not he's just going for that upgrade. Once it's heavy in and just wants to push. Or if he's just going to go for the Mythic Age. I mean, has he started on his Peach Blossom Spring? No, he hasn't. He's got 1,300 food in the bank. God, those guys were fast. What's going on? Why are they so quick? Have I sped up the game? No. Why are they so why are they so quick? Anyway. Both players are kind of jockeying around. But do you have the nice Phobos Spear of Panic coming in? Now, normally this is going to be a pretty good time for Garneth to attack because Alapes is in the next stage. And yeah, but the issue is he won the last fight pretty handily. The Cyclops are actually in this fight, though. They weren't in the last one at all. Lightning Weapons number 2 is in. But how many Pioneers are on this side? There's 7 Pioneers, 1 Sage, Najar, and Zhangxia. So all the Elder Cyclops will eventually go down. And Garneth, I can see where he was coming from, because normally when they first get up to the next stage, it's the perfect time to attack. But he was just so far behind from that first fight. And Alapes wins very nicely with just how he picked off those Cyclops. Just made him so far ahead. And then, yeah, just needed to basically just fight again. That was all. He just needed to fight. He knew he would win. And well played by him. I think the divine damage is so good. It is 1-1. We are back again with Alapesu versus 3D Garneth. And Alapes is going in this one on Anatolia with the Zeus. Probably most people's S+ tier pick for this map. It's just the tried and true, very strong on water maps in general. And then this side is maybe a sleeper pick for water maps, which is Garneth's Frey. And I was just saying beforehand that I think if you can get a good build order with the Frey for Anatolia, and watch Soup if you want to see that, he's got some really good Archaic Age build orders, which are very min-max. And he can get so many docks up. So we'll see if Garneth can do that as well. I think Frey's also just a good pick in general, because you get the extra income. You can kind of get some good power spikes on as the Frey. Obviously, you do have to deal with the power spikes that come from Zeus, which is what makes him so strong, is that you get the extra food income. You can build loads of hot plates. You can run around the map, pushing off other players' docks. You get the restoration on the water if you want it, or restoration as your land army. And then into a bronze restoration push as well, if you want to go for that one, which can be extremely strong. So Garneth does have to watch out. He is up against a Zeus, and this is where Zeus really does shine on these water maps. Both players also deciding to go for a different side of the dock. So we'll see what they do from this position. Looks like Garneth wants to stay the same side. He's kind of getting out a lot of early dwarfs, rather than trying to get the docks out ASAP. Something you can do as Norse is build in such a way where you get lots of wood in early that your Berserk is basically always busy. He builds the dock, he builds the house, he runs over here or runs to this side if that's what you want to do, drops the other dock down while constantly producing fishing ships. I don't know the build, but I've seen it being done, and it's definitely something you can do. the villager can actually just turn around and hit this guy. It shouldn't be a problem. And that is what he's going for. As soon as the Catastropus comes over, the Berserk does not win that fight. Might seem a little bit strange if you're used to classical age units, but Alapes can just bring his unit over here. And yeah, this dock will never go up. Unless Garneth is kind of just baiting with it. Baiting so that the villager has a lot of idle time. I think that is what he's trying to do. But if the Berserk gets caught in here, can he actually run out of this gap? Or is he just completely stuck? He isn't trying to get out. Is he going to be able to get the dock up? He can't garrison inside the dock or anything, so is going to be able to get out of there. But now the Catastropus on his own should just be able to pick that off. The villager is going to run back. Is there going to be a second Berserk coming out? There is going to be a second Berserk from Garneth's TC. So he does want this one at some point. This villager, or this Berserk, sorry, is going to have to run back. Eventually, the 1 damages do catch up with you. And is going to be able to run back. On this side, Alapes, getting a decent amount of fishing ships out on his side, will finish up the top side dock. And carry on this side. Berserk, low HP Berserk, where did he go? He didn't die, surely. There he is. 6 HP. And the temple is going to be up. And he has 6 seconds left on that dock, and then goes down to this side. A little bit confused, but hey-ho. Alapes did have a lot of idle time with this one villager, but he does have his dock up, which is what he wanted. He has his fish on this side, so what does he... How many fish has he managed to get? So he does have 9 fish. He's going to get his 12 fish. But he's got 9 currently. And then on this side, we do have 8 out for Garneth. So they are pretty close in terms of how many fish they've actually managed to get out. Dock for Garneth will be coming up. And Athena is coming through after this villager for Alapes. So going for a 5:30 advance time, which on this map is pretty standard. Might seem like a pretty late uptime, but it's pretty standard for this map. Whereas Garneth going for a super late one. Did have his temple being built by the low HP Berserk, so that is fine. But hasn't really got the food income. He's got 300 gold. I think this is just... This stuff happening with his Berserk has just completely put him off. Late advance times aren't always the worst. But he doesn't even have his upgrades. Sometimes the Freys get such a late advance time because they have their hand axe, they have their pickaxe. That's like what they wanted to go for. But can force drop all of these. Is going to go for that one. And it's going to be a 6:13. A whole, or pretty much a whole minute behind Alapes. So if Alapes can get some damage done early, whether or not that's taking out docks or dealing with fishing ships or just sending some hoplites forward or his double hero, something along that effect, it's going to be very, very difficult for Garneth to kind of stay in this one. I think Garneth should be thinking about getting some of these upgrades. Yeah, did he auto queue dwarves? Is that what he did? He's got 5 dwarves out. Not normally something you see. Normally in the archaic age, you normally see 4 maximum, just because otherwise you end up with something like this. You can also just send dwarves out onto wood for the time being, and then when you need the gold, move them over. That's always a good option. Golthorir Oddsson. Okay. Thought it was Thor Odinson there, but no. I think that's the name of Thor from the Marvel films. Sometimes you get 5? Okay. Maybe it just looks weird, the 5, because he advanced so late. Maybe that's what it is. Here we go. We're asking pickaxe, we're asking hand axe, husbandry, Persine, gatherers. So, Alapes not going for any early damage. Has he built any ships even? He is building a Pentaconta somewhere on this top side. So, wants to put something in, but maybe thinking about heroic age? No, he's getting some hoplites. So, not using his early advance time to put in any early pressure on. Fortunately, his wall looks a bit funky there. I'd redo that one. So you get a gate in there, but the Berserk is going to be hit away by the Minotaur. So the Heracles-Jason combo is out. Potentially to take out some docks on this side. So the Berserk's baiting pretty well. Now the Berserk has been spotted on this side. There is some units out for Alapes. Garneth trying to get some damage with his Dreki, the hammer ships. One Pentaconta to kind of scare these guys away. they can turn and win this fight pretty easily if they want to. But I think this is the chillest early game for this map that I've ever seen. Normally, there's either crazy water pressure or crazy pressure on the land. But I believe Alapes going for a fast heroic. Now Garneth is deciding he wants to win this water. He wants to carry on. He knows that he has more ships on this side, so definitely wants to win it. Nothing garrison inside his dock, so no extra arrow fire coming out. Alapes with a nice micro, going dragon ship, Pentaconta on those dragon ships. Working the triangle pretty nicely. Nothing garrison in this dock either. Normally you just want to fight underneath docks with a couple of fishing ships in, because you just gain extra damage for your fight. Especially if there's some Drekkies, because they have such bad pierce armor. They can be taken out by the dock so quickly. And I believe Alapes looking to win this side. There are some units from Garneth coming over, which is thinking about a fast heroic of his own. But the dock should be taken down. It looks like there is a decent amount of Garneth units coming over. Also a repair coming through from the Berserk. Nice play. No other ships coming down. So Alapes does overstay. And is going to lose. Is he paying attention? He could easily run these Heracles Jason away. They're tanky boys. Should be able to get out. But notices it a little bit too late. Jason goes down. Only left with one Hoplite, one Heracles. And now there's enough Berserks for Garneth to do it. The chillest. It is. And now the Scylla. Oh, the chill. It probably wasn't really chill very early, was it? Kind of forgot to mention that one. The very early game wasn't chill at all. How many heads can the Scylla get off of just eating up Berserks? Does manage to take out one Berserk. The Draugr is a nice option. Does have the divine damage, but I mean, the Scylla or any myth units on the water, they're just so tanky compared to anything land-based. So it can tank up for absolute days. Can even get the upgrade to regen these guys if he really wants to. Maybe a bit overkill right now, but you know, something for later on. So Heroic Cage for Alapes. There is going to be a Heroic Cage for Garneth at some point. It's going to counter the bronze pretty nicely with the Tempest. Tempest did receive a small nerf in the last patch or the patch before, but it's still busted. Oh, not busted. I think it's just a good god power now. I think it was definitely busted before. Alapes going in with the Hippaspis to counter the Berserks. Looks like Garneth really does like the Berserks. He used them pretty well on the Ghost Lake map, and now using them nicely on this one too. But you don't want to overstay against the Hippaspis. Hippaspis will carve you up so quick, and they are all going to go down. It's like the Scylla, look how quickly it takes out things just on his lonesome. And on the top side, I think the top side is where the Kraken spawned. Yes, that is exactly right. And where did that get used? Okay, Asgardian Hill Fort in the base is interesting. Normally you want to use it trying to defend a gold mine situation, because gold is what this map is all about. You might think it's about the side fish, but that ends up not really mattering that much. He's going to get 5 heads so quick. Taking out everything. Throwing axe and trying. And there's also a second one on this side. And Alapes wins the bottom. Garneth wins the top. And Alapes just pressuring this side. Forcing a reaction from Garneth to defend his docks. And now this is what we're talking about. This is where you whack the fortresses down. Defending 2 gold mines. Very nice. Not that many villagers on them. So it's going to take a whole minute to get this one up. There we go. Bringing 3 more. Definitely the right play. It might seem like there's no units around, but a minute is a long time for these guys to be sitting there. What's it going to go down to? Probably like 40 seconds or something. 33 seconds. There we go. A little bit better. Garneth going for a TC. I guess TC does... There we go. Does have Golem Bursty. So the Golem Bursty could probably get to about here, I would say. So that is something to defend his gold mine. Say normally, I wouldn't like this unless you're Frey. Frey is the perfect god to make this happen, because it doesn't really defend the gold mine. It's just behind it. But maybe as Frey, it's absolutely fine. The longboats don't have their tech. Obviously, it would be a bit of a waste getting it on this side. But they don't have their tech to make them better against Hydras. The Hydra just need to bail a little bit. He's very low HP. Will slowly go down, 17 HP. Bolt on this side on the Rock Giant. And the Rock Giant against the Scylla, he doesn't need to take this fight. The Scylla's going to be dealing so much damage after that special wears off. 4 heads and a dream. And he runs away. Oh, Kraken spawning this side. Looks like Garneth does want to retake the water. Bit of an investment on this side. Scylla's going to be get one shot from that Kraken, though. Is he even going to get any hits off? Just one hit. It's like 67 HP away there. And looks like Alapes has secured his gold, which is exactly what he wanted to do. We've got the Garneth side being secured. So Bergreasy, even the Bergreasy upgrade. But Triple Hero is going to take that one down pretty quick. Seeing your cool background has inspired me to make a cinematic for my stream. Yeah, do it. Do it. You can just set a video up. The only thing is, I think you need to zoom in because otherwise it comes up with escape in the top right, unless you can turn that off now. But yeah, you can just put a loop video. I do want to make some more also, so it has some options. Here we go. We do have the Tempest coming in to make these units survive a little bit longer. There is potential for a restoration after the fact, though, for Alapes. Alapes just going for it. The issue is it slows your units down so much, and we do see the restoration on that tail end. But they are all going to get frozen, or at least the vast majority of them get frozen. So Garneth can either stay and fight, or he can just run away. But Tempest traded for restoration, which I think goes Alapes' way. It's a classical age god power. It can be reused for 100 favor, which he's almost got thanks to being Zeus. So nice trade for Alapes. That is a scary, scary god power Tempest. If you can use it with the Golem Bursty, so we can see where he can use his Golem Bursty now. It's probably, yeah, about there. He's cutting off the Golem Bursty range though. He could get caught out. Garneth. He does have his Feast of Renown in, which will slowly heal up the boys. And Alapes going Mythic Age. He knows what he wants. He wants to push with his Hera. Wants to push with his Lightning Storm, which will deal with this position so nicely. The issue is Garneth is full pop. He's got so many dudes. He's got hill forts. He's got no armory upgrades. He's got one armory upgrade. They are coming through slowly. I think this is one of the kind of tale as old as Retold is if you're Frey, you need second armory out, you need third armory out if you're playing this kind of boomy style of extra fish or something like that, because the armory upgrades are so cheap. But for Frey, they just take so long. 75 seconds is just way too long to get those in. Garneth is going for a TC on this side. We'll see what Alapes decides to do. Looks like Garneth wants to fight. If he can bait out this with his Hera Lightning Storm, it could be huge. Just does need to run around the side. Looks like ring around the rosy around these pine trees. Yeah, Alapes needs to jump in. The Petropolis is going to get taken out very, very quickly. And Lightning Storm is in. Is he just going to use it here? Lightning Storm used very, very nicely. There is a piggy coming in. Did need to delete the building, but the piggy comes through absolutely fine. The issue is there's not really many myth units to take out with it, but he does a decent amount of damage anyway. Lightning Storm coming back on this side. We missed the middle of it, but the end is where it does all the damage. Garneth thought he got away, but the last couple of seconds of that Lightning Storm is where all the damage comes in. So, and the radius is way bigger than it seems also. So, nice bit of value. Did manage to take the pig out. Now, Garneth is kind of baiting away. I think maybe Alapes is probably overcommitting to these units a little bit, but Garneth's going to come back through. They're all going to get eaten up by the strong Zeus units. And then we move into the next portion. While this is going on, Alapes is deciding to siege the main base, which is just a good shout. Sometimes the players put so much effort into defending their gold mines that sometimes you can just go for the main base and be absolutely fine. Metropolis kind of misclicking? No, they are just going straight for the town center. I thought he'd want to take some of these houses out first, but I guess they're kind of a natural barrier to help defend the siege weapons here. And this town center should go down quick. Also, Hell's coming through, so this is huge. Knowing that maybe potentially this is the time to be going through Hell, and he did happen to go in the main base. Yes, he didn't go. I thought maybe he was Apollo. He could get that tech to see, but he isn't. It is just, he's just assuming that this could be happening. Alapes with a huge play, about 1 minute 20 on that Hell. And does manage to stop the Mythocage coming through. Mythocage started up in a separate town center. So 2 minutes away from Hell on this side. But Alapes, he does have the units to deal with it. He is in the Mythocage himself. I need to move over to his perspective. I assume Bellerophon is in. He isn't. He is getting built out, though. Out the main town center. And Bellerophon can go on his own cheeky raids, can run around, just be a nuisance. Very, very annoying. There's 129 favor, could go for another restoration, which he decides to go for, just to push this side. And it is looking a bit scary for Garneth to try and defend this one. There are only medium peltasts, though, but they should be more than enough to deal with heavy throwing axemen, heavy Goatees that have all been taken down also, so the Medusa can start dealing some real damage. Potentially trying to get champion hoplites is probably even more value than getting those heavy peltasts in. Now the heroes all coming in, dealing with the Bergrizi on this back line. There's a lot of favor in for Garneth also if he wants to go for something, but he has been pushed off that gold mine. He did get this town center up the top. Can move over to this gold mine if he wants to. Needs to just get those villagers over there. There's a 500 gold left in the bank. And a kind of Hell power spike coming in. I think the start of Nidhogg is almost a equivalent to a mini lightning storm. It's absolutely huge. If you can catch some units off guard, whether that's villagers, whether that's just a whole load of units, get that AoE fire breath off, and then kind of use your special to run away, it's so, so good. And if players aren't expecting it, it's pretty scary. But I think there is enough stuff here for Alapes to deal with it. He does have all his heroes. The Medusa deals with it nicely as well. She even has crush damage, which is decent against other myth units. And the town center is probably going to go down for Garneth. What's his population or military situation like? So he's got 2 great halls, 5 longhouses, and in comes the Nidhogg. Complete split up of units from Alapes. So no super splash damage value. The bolt come down on Bergrizi. That was a 55 favor bolt, but it's going to be worth it because all the heroes need to be over here dealing with the dragon. And now champions in. And Alapes showing why Zeus is probably the pick for this map. I think Garneth did manage to get some value on the water. Unfortunately, the Scylla kind of forgetting that one's there. But did get some damage done on the eco. And then gold mine in the middle of the map that Garneth is trying to go for. Kind of over mining it. Just wanted as many villagers over here as he possibly can. Middle town center's down. Didn't manage to go back up. This town center's down. He's got 1 left. Fire giant getting caught out as well. That's coming over to defend this. And I think Alapes has played a very nice Anatolia game right here. All the heroes trying to get these fire giants down. Now, yeah, Alapes will just slowly bring this down. He's got so many gold mines to choose from. I don't think he's in any real danger right now. There's always the issue with this map, even if you think you are quite far ahead. If you can't get to a gold mine, it's really tough. But that was how this map spawned, with 1 fortress or 1 hill fort being able to defend 2 gold mines. Doesn't normally happen on this, so this is where you need your fortress. Slap it in the middle. Well played to Alapes. Does manage to take this series 2-1. Okay, game number 4. Alapes up 2-1. He's on the right side. He's playing as Nuwa. Probably one of the strongest gods currently. I mean, all the Chinese gods are so strong. But her eco right now is crazy good. So we'll see what Alapes can make of this one. On this side, we have Garneth. He's down 1-2. Needs to win this one to make it carry on in this series, to tie up in this series and then push it to a game 5. And he's playing Amaterasu. Now, honestly, I don't know where Amaterasu stands in terms of strength. Some players prioritize her, like some top players prioritize her like crazy. I think there was Nyan first picked her, so like Ace picked Amaterasu, and other players don't even pick her at all. And I think she's good. I think surely she must be good. She has the free gold, which is good enough. But even just the Bushido tiers, like just getting the samurais out, getting up to heavy Bushido, and then taking a fight, just getting that heavy for free is absolutely crazy. She also gets access to the Shogun, which is probably one of the best god powers there is in the Japanese pantheon. And although she can't get something like Tsukiyomi's New Moon, where he drops down that on the armory, gets all the free armory upgrades, she does have this Solar Shield, which makes the unit invulnerable temporarily. It doesn't heal it back up for the Shogun, because the Shogun can't be healed. It's like Son of Osiris. But just not being able to damage it is so, so good. I think I've brung this up before, but Son of Osiris is such a big power spike when you get him in kind of early Mythic. But the issue is, when you're facing it, do you use all of your units to take out Son of Osiris, or do you take out everything else? And you kind of have to make that decision of you need to sack some units to take him out, but you can't do that in early Heroic Age. It's just not an option, because if you use all of your units to take out the Shogun, then all of your other units die, and you don't have the eco to really back that up. And I think that's what makes the Shogun so, so strong, is he'll be hanging around for a while. You can't just solo him out. But if you ignore him and just let loads of myth units pile up and they all die, you're in a really tricky spot. So I think the Shogun is one of the best things, and that is something which Garneth can grab. So we'll see if that's what he's going for. He does have the food to advance this next villager. A 4-minute uptime, that's what he's going for. On this side, Alapes does have 2 Quafus and a third one coming out. Not deciding to go for the Hero Quafu, which is kind of interesting. Whether he's going to go for the Hero Quafu, then advance, or whether he's going to go for an advance time and then get the Hero Quafu out. Normally we see that one come out first. Oh, Einhajib, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that one. Thank you very much. What a guy. And then we have How To coming in. Yeah, I'm really surprised not to see this one. Whether or not, with his build, he needed the gold to get more normal Quafus out. But normally it's very, very easy to get the peasants over to just food and get that one out. It does cost more favor, so this tech wasn't buffed as well as the Quafu, so it costs more favor to get that one out. So I guess Alapes has mastered this build order. Oh, you've got an ad. I hope you didn't get an ad after subbing. That would suck. It's because I did a good job guessing the anime girls. I get the sub. If that is the case, I appreciate it. Yeah, so the hero does just cost more favor. So I think that's where it's coming in. 15 favor versus the 10 favor. You want to limit that one basically. But the hero, he's so much better than a normal villager. It's absolutely crazy. Chongqi is in, did decide to go How To, normally what Nuwa goes for. And we'll see what Garneth is going for. It looks like he's going for a second town center. Did go through Shrine of the Hunt on this side. And I've been doing this on this map. I went through a phase of just playing Susanoo because I think Susanoo is fun. He's a very fun god to play. And this map, second town centers seem like a good idea because it's quite defensive. The issue is there's nothing that really spawns on your town center. So say you want to move over here, it's a lot of walking time for your villagers to actually walk over there. So Shrine of the Hunt on here means that you can send some villagers to the wood, you can send some villagers to the food, and it's just a nicer time. It just makes it a little bit cleaner of a second TC. So I rate Garneth's strat here. So this is something you can also do with Amaterasu. It also means that you get more favor income. Surprised she's only at 0.08. I guess it just wasn't that many cherry trees around. It will slowly go up when more wolves spawn, when more deer spawn. It's not as good as Susano, because Susano does get the wolves with the divine damage, but the wolves are still pretty good. It's going to be difficult to aggress onto this TC. And this side, Alapes drops his creation, gets his 4 clay peasants to help out build the town center. Very standard play. You really chop through there? That's wild. He's standing on the cliff. This Kwafu, he's lost. He's trying. He's trying. He's trying. Hopefully Alapes notices this one. But he should have gone this side. There we go. Moving over this side. Has noticed you shouldn't be able to grab this through there, but hey-ho. Alapes manages to grab that. And the Chongqi trying to get in and do some raids. He did get a lot of these half HP, but it's going to lose his life. That feels bad. And the Miko is just going to heal everything back up. So one Chongqi death and all these half HP boys that are still living. The Earthwall did get dropped down, but Earthwall already destroyed. The one Nudo, he's not good at much, but he is good at dealing with buildings when there's nobody else around. So good value from this guy, as much as you can really get. I don't rate him at all. And it's one of the worst things about going this Shrine of the Hunt God. You get some good upgrades for your archers. You get a decent god power to get more favor in, to get more hunt. But the one Yudo, I think, could do with a little buff. He's probably not the strongest. But the early game is going to be pretty much a sit-back fest for the time being while these guys get their eco going. We're going to be getting Alapes. He could get way more Quafus if he really wants to. He's got 40 favor sat in the bank. If he gets a couple of villagers on gold, he could spam those boys out. I think he's just auto-queuing plus villagers from one side, so not just auto-queuing Quafus. I think when you've got 2 TCs, you can kind of do that, similar to how you do that with the dwarfs, where you would do dwarfs from one TC, gatherers from the other. It's always a good play when you go 2 TC Norse. And I think, what was the Einajib's special number? Was it 13 per minute or was it 17? Because he's pretty much there. Can we have a gather rate check when it's out? Oh, where is he? So yeah, 3.32, and he gathers 50 resources in one go. So 3.32 versus 2.55. Like, he's so much better than a normal one. It's crazy. It's crazy how good he is. I'm number 200 and something on the ladder and top 5 in guessing portraits. I'll definitely take that. Top 5 in guessing the portraits. Good enough. 17 was the magic number. And we're on 18. So he can just, if he wants to, one of these can just be a Quafu machine. Because he does have these 2 TCs. So I mean, look at the favor gather for Alapes. It's huge. It's getting more in even. I have a feeling that this Quafu is going to get stuck. But we will see. Alapes is going in with a few units. Garneth hasn't built anything. He's going strict 2TC fast heroic as soon as possible. I mean, he's built a couple of raiders to run around just to kind of scout around, have a look, see if he can catch any villagers off guard. But I mean, he only built 4. Alapes looks like he's going to the next stage as well, getting his sky lanterns in, see what's going on. But he is going to be going through Gomang. Gomang, such a great god. I think Gomang is one of the best heroic age gods, probably best minor gods in the entire game. His god power to just drop down the forest protection on one of your town centers, one of your forward ballets, just is very, very difficult. His wood upgrade to let wood spawn next to houses, and then the insane wood gather rate that you get from it. It's not the flashiest of techs, but it's got to be one of the best. You end up needing basically like 8 villagers on wood. You end up needing nothing. Whenever I played this guy, because I barely play China, and then you just keep however many villagers on wood that you had before, and you just end up with thousands. It just goes up and up and up. So if you want some kind of farm transition or something, it's so easy to just leave your villagers over here by the houses, and then it turns your houses into drop sites too. So you can then just add your farms in wherever your boy is, you know, just whack your farms around, and it just becomes a very, very nice time. So wooden walls in. The Tengu is in for Garneth, and it looks like he's going fast mythic. So this guy does give you the on Marakis, so could go for some on Maraki spam if that's what he wants to go for. There's only one villager or one Miko praying from Garneth. And actually you can just walk through here. Is Garneth going to be able to walk through there? Oh, and the Kwafu's getting caught out. Can he make it to the tower? I don't think he's going to... Oh, so close. Does manage to get that one back in. Almost sniped from Garneth, but that is the power of the Kwafus also, is they are just so tanky. Taowu to hit absolutely everything away. And there is going to be an Imperial Academy going up. I assume some kind of castle coming up on the front side as well. Trying to get some good raids on this side. There is forest protection in the main base forced. It's pretty wild. Big raid up on this top side from Garneth, but all the villagers are going to be able to run away. There's a castle defending Garneth's front gold mine. And Alapes, without his upgrade to make these boys tankier, is actually taking the fight. As China, you don't really want to do this. They have less HP. I think it's the same armor, but they do have less HP. So it's pretty rough if you want to be going for that one. The one Yudo. There he is. Going to be running away. With the hero Kwafu with this huge bit of gold. And now the Shogun. He's managing to get up to the next stage. So fast mythic affair coming through. And a fast mythic even coming through for Alapes too. Where is his castle? It is here. It is defending his forward gold mine. And he will be getting the food in momentarily. He's got 23 villagers on food. So that should be coming in very, very quick. And then Gomang, normally always going to be the call. The dragon, so good. The river, so good. Even getting more villagers on the food to try and get this done. There is one Tengu. Yeah, just run away from this boy. There's no point turning around and hitting him because he just does way too much damage. Garneth can follow it if he's paying attention with a jump, but looks like he's looking elsewhere. Oh no, he is. But then in comes the Taowu, hits this boy away. Oh my god, absolutely huge. He uses a solar shield on that guy. Really wants to keep this guy alive, this Tengu alive for some reason. I know everybody says how strong the Tengus are. They're strong because of their upgrade. Their upgrade makes them have way too much hack and pierce armor when they jump in. That's what makes them good. Them on their own, they're just normal myth units basically. They're like a better Anubite is what I would call them. And they should be because they are heroic age myth units. But hey ho, got some cavalry upgrades coming through for Alapes. Hooves of the Wind. Now with the other upgrade when he gets through to Gong Gong. For those Tiger Cavalry. And I don't know whether the sit-back game style with Amaterasu was really the one. You kind of want to be dealing the damage. You want to be getting your Bushido in to get heavy above your opponent. You want to be getting your Samurais out, getting more XP. You just want to be fighting. But there is going to be double Shogun because Sacred Gate can be dropped at any point for Garneth. And I would love to see just more Mikos around. Get that Miko tech to get the wood that spawns around your shrines. And we do have that one. It's going to be dropped, Sacred Gate. And what's the upgrade coming through? Restless Army, on Meraki speed, Wretch speed. So he is going for the on Meraki raids by the look of it. There just isn't that many favor to come through. Yeah. Minakata Tomi's this one, isn't he? Yeah, not something we see very often. And this one is the training and research rate of all buildings going up. Yeah, 3 Tengus without the upgrade is kind of interesting. Now the White Horse Cavalry raids coming through for Alapes did manage to get up to the Mythic Age with no problems from himself. Zhang Xia in the middle, plenty of pioneers. So Alapes is expecting some kind of myth unit situation. And he is definitely prepared for them to come through. Qinglong on this side. Can't go for more of those. This is the upgrade. Last stand for your cavalry. which is the Gong Gong upgrade. Li Jing coming in, of course. And Amaterasu, yes, she can sit back and boom. I just don't think this is the playstyle for her. I feel like you just don't get as much value. You're going to have 2 Shoguns. He needs to get his second Shogun out for sure. That is what he's getting right now. If he gets an... What's his armory situation? Need to move over to Garner's perspective. He doesn't have any. I think the benefit of the double Mythic Age Shogun is getting all these upgrades that you otherwise couldn't get, and a nice pick-off of all of these unupgraded Tengu for Alapes is huge. And the Li Jing stun can come down whenever. There is a big wave coming in, which could deal with the Shogun pretty nicely. It's going to put him next to the Baolei. Are they going to get caught on the Earth Wall, though? They do get caught. So the Shogun should be targeted down by the Baolei if Alapes is looking for that one. On Meraki coming in, but Alapes can just run behind his Earth Wall. He'll be absolutely fine. And the medium samurai walk out. Yes, not often you see an Amaterasu game where it's 16 minutes in and they're only medium. There we go. Just as I said that, gone up to heavy. But even so, they should have been heavy for a while if they're playing some kind of damage game. But the Oyumi's this side still hasn't got this upgrade. What does it cost? Oh, it's just the favor. I think Garneth just isn't getting those Mikos out. Now he's realized he is deciding to get Mikos out of both town centers. The Mikos, they do gather favor very quickly. You need to get them out, basically. It isn't like Greek ones where you can just go, oh, just move loads of villagers over. You need to build a specific unit for it. Shogun number 1 is half HP. There's no Shogun number 2. It needs to be brought out. Solar Shield used on a Samurai on this side. The Tao Wu is getting slapped down, though, so more Samurai is going to spawn very quickly. Alapes targeting down, I think it's the Solar Shield unit. Isn't ideal, but as soon as the shield's gone, it goes down pretty quickly. And the sheer amount of fire archers to deal with the samurais is so nice. There is a second Shogun, though. And the Shogun, 66 pierce armor. Look how much he tanks. There's just not enough units around him. This is the issue. You need to have him in a big ball of units. Li Jing still alive. Both players still on 2 TCs. So not a sign to grab their third one to have more population than the opponent. I think Alapes kind of missed his farm transition, I'm pretty sure, because he doesn't have that many on farms. He's decided to get 25 on wood. On this side, there are farms up, at least some of them, for Garneth. He's got plenty of food also. But we said earlier, if anyone wants a farm transition, it's going to be going through Gomang. And yeah, the Shogun's going to be dealt with really nicely. There is a Solar Shield. But still, he doesn't heal him back up. Not ideal. And I mean, basically, the further this game goes, the more I would rate the Noirs' position. Gold mine-wise, there's no chance of any of these getting touched. On this side, I mean, it's very similar. Garneth can defend it so easily. One thing players do need to think about is somewhat securing the map to get themselves the TCs. If one of the players could block off both TCs, could be very nice to pick up some map presence and stop their opponent getting equal TCs. Alapes, though, it's just trading so nice because he's got all archers. The Shogun is going to get another Solar Shield and run away. Did bait in for a little bit. Alapes does have to be careful, but forest protection plus units garrisoning inside the town center should be fine. There's, what are we, 8,500 XP away from champion, so there will be champion units coming through for another couple of fights for Garneth, I would say. And here he is, the Onmyoji, my favorite unit. I think he's not good on his own. But if you get a couple of, if you get a handful of these guys out, like 5 or 6, they take out buildings ridiculously quick, and then you get those healers. It's like if a priest and a catapult had a baby. He was the Onmyoji. Definitely worth grabbing. your town centers now. Is that what is being grabbed? Yep, Garneth thinks the same thing. Going to be grabbing his top side town center. This bottom side one, Alapes can go for, and they're going to split it off very nicely. He walks with a lot of swagger. He does have one hell of an outfit. And he shoots magic. That's his projectile of choice. No bow and arrow for him, no nothing. Just shoots a bit of magic at people. Garneth hasn't got this upgrade. I don't think it makes too much difference, but it will slowly spawn wood around. It's quite expensive. Wow, I didn't realize it was 500 resources, 10 favor. Garneth is hitting a little raid, but at this point, 100 villagers. These little raids, they don't really do too much. But this is the gold situation for Alapes. All of his gold is down here, so maybe it's doing a little bit more than it seems. Not managing to pick many off, but at least forcing some kind of reaction. If Garneth can grab this TC, then everything that I've said about the Noir late game doesn't really matter as much. Heavy Samurai coming in. Samurai are just good against everything, so the Baolei shouldn't be an issue for them. Heavy Fire Archers need to get their damage done. Look at the wretches. Absolutely brutal. The repair rate of Kwafu is insane. You shouldn't really be able to do this with this amount of surface area of your Baolei, but doing pretty well. And I think Alapes should be able to defend this one. He's got a gold mine on this top side, should be absolutely fine, and is going to scare Garneth away. Here they come. Here the boys come. He is getting more on Myojis. And securing the 4th TC. So Garneth, he needs his full pop. He's pretty much got full upgrades. He's got full defensive upgrades. Just needs his iron weapons. What are we looking for on this side? Yeah. Garneth in such a good spot right now. The issue is that Alapes should be trading well, because he's got all archers that just aren't being attacked, ever. Look at the pop difference. Oh, bit of a misclick from the red units. Oh, and they're getting to get sliced up because of it. You do hate to see it. But champion Naginata Riders, champion Samurai, champion everything in for Amaterasu. It's this relic that never got touched. This is the situation. The gold mine for Alapes. Baolei down. And this is where my boys, the Onmyojis, they absolutely shine. When there's a lot of front line, when they can just sit back, destroy buildings as fast as possible. Look how many Kwafus there are mining that gold. It'll be out of gold so soon. And then what does Alapesu do after that? He doesn't have a trade set up. I don't believe he does anyway. There was one market sat in the middle of the base, so no, he has not set up any sort of trade. The issue is with these ones is if the Baolei is targeted down as the Noir's doing, they all go down. They're not very tanky at all. The little raids to be annoying. We've got the watchtowers in though. We've got the forest protection in. Shouldn't be doing too much. But yeah, if Garneth can put all his pressure on this side, he is going to claim the win and does manage to do it. I'm surprised that Alapes never went for this TC. Because, I mean, that's kind of what happened to him. He just got overwhelmed with the sheer amount of units that Garneth had, because he did manage to grab that 3rd TC. The 4th one was just a bonus. So, well played to Garneth. Does manage to bring that back to 2-2. We're going to a deciding game. So, let's check that one out. Game number 5. Alapes in this top left side. He's playing as Tsukiyomi. That's a great last god to have, is Tsukiyomi. So he'll be very, very happy about this one. In this bottom side, if there was a counter to what we're going to call the Tsukiyomi cheese, which is the Tengu, then it would be Garneth's Gaia. Gaia is, she can slow them down with her Galadriel. So if the Tengus come in, they can be slowed down. She gets hero Murmillos that are very, very strong. If you also want to do what somebody else did, I think it was Zucolo. I could be wrong on that one, but there was one player which countered the Tengu so well with Hero Cantarius. So fast heroic, because if Alapes is going fast heroic into Tengus, then you can just go fast heroic yourself as the Gaia. There's nothing really to worry about there. So he went fast heroic, got loads of Hero Cantarius, and just ran around the map with them, sniping Tengu. And then when the Tengus were sniped, he could raid with them, and it was huge. It's such a good counter, but he did lose. Yes, Young Oath is correct. He countered it well, and I think I can relate to how Zucolo has played in this Champions League. He's had some great... Oh, wow, that's... Okay, he did manage to take those away, did Alapes. But he's had some great games where he's countered what his opponent's doing, and then he just does a bit of a blunder and throws it away. And if that's not my style of Age of Mythology, I don't know what is. I can relate to that so hard, where you do something really good early, you get some kind of win over your opponent, and you're definitely ahead. You're ahead in score, you're ahead in eco, you're ahead in military, whatever. And then you just throw it away. It is a shame, but that's why the game's good. You know, you don't want some kind of snowball game. You want ways to get back into it. And we'll see what Garneth decides to go for. Looks like he's manually queuing out his citizens. He knows he wants a few more. So that's going to be nice from his perspective. He is going for the old strategy. I don't know whether it's still a thing. I don't play enough Gaia or see many Gaia games, but 2 manually transformed heroes or hero citizens. So is getting that eco in, also going for the hand axe and the pickaxe. If you're going fast heroic, even, it makes sense to do this because you'll get a later advance time. It's not like it's going to be a late advance time anyway. But what we've seen from Garneth in pretty much every game is he has gone for the late advance time or an early one like he did in the last one with a second town center. So I expect some kind of 1TC play with all the eco upgrades, which is what he's doing in this one. So we'll see what he can make work. On this side, Alapes going for a later advance time of his own. So potentially Tengu. We'll see what he manages to come up with. Inari Okami on the way. Tsukiyomi does advance quicker anyway, so it's actually going to be a 4:15 rather than the 4:30 that it would be for everyone else if they went up at that time, like Garneth did. So no crazy aggression from the Tsukiyomi side. Alapes deciding to leave his gazelles back at home and go out on the forward ones, which is a good idea if he's going to get some units out to defend this one. The issue is the guy could go for an early advance time, and he went for a later one, which means that he is open to kind of pressure on this, especially if you saw the Tsukiyomi that we used to see with the new moon dropped on the stable straight away, and there would be kind of 5 units in his face in about 10 seconds time. Obviously, we're not seeing that, but still, you kind of want to play around things like this and not be too greedy. But it doesn't even matter. He's going to advance first, so he's going to be fine. Now, what is Alapes going to do? It is kind of all on him of what he wants to do, just because of how much of a, I don't know, a beast Tsukiyomi is currently. You do have to watch out for that. Chorokumo here, and it is going to be an armory. So we are expecting to see fast heroic into something. It might not even be Tengu. It might just be getting the armory upgrades, using your new moon on it, getting lots of that juicy bronze armor in, and just having really tanky units. On this side, what is Garneth doing? He's getting a military barracks. Doesn't mean that he's getting units out of it, but he is definitely getting it. And is he going for a second TC? He took he took his units off of gold a little bit too quick. I think it's because he built the military barracks. Yeah, it cost 35 and he was about 35 off. So that's fine. He's going to be able to get this one. Be absolutely fine. Didn't waste any time there getting the Gaia Forest tree down. So they're all going to be fine. It's going to be 4 hero citizens getting this. And Alapes does notice it. There's nothing he can do with this Kitsune. This Kitsune comes over. The citizen just stabs it away, which he's going to do. And settlement easily up. The thing is, what is this map? This map is Elysium. It's my favorite map. So it's wide open. So yes, there are some berry bushes on it. There is some gazelle. He does have his Gaia forest trees behind. The issue is if the Tengu come in, or even some kind of fast heroic into loads of horse archers, what can Garneth do to really defend that, apart from just get loads of units out to defend and just hope that he's got enough? It's going to be pretty rough. So we'll see what he can manage. It's also a 6-minute TC because he went for that late advance time. So it's not... I don't know. If you want a super fast naked second town center, just get it. Go for a 4-minute advance time, waddle over, get that one up, 5 minutes. Happy days. Maybe change his mind, wanting to go for a second TC. We'll see what he can do with it. Needs to definitely get some units out to defend the incoming Hachiman from Alapes. And it's going to be pretty difficult to deal with, I reckon. There's a market coming up. There is stable, armory. What else has he got? Has he got anything else? Just the temple, just the stable. A lot of times we see the Tsukuyomi players going for one dojo just to get one Onimusha out to deal with the enemy myth unit, sorry. But obviously there's no really myth unit from the classical age Gaia that can do anything. So we don't see that from Alapes this time. So the Kitsunes have actually scared off the citizens off of this food. Absolutely huge, huge win. I assume New Moon is on the temple. It is. It's Tengu number 1. Tengu number 2 didn't quite have the wood, so not going to come out as quick as it could have. And actually not going for more Tengus. So is wanting the Tengu upgrade, does want the gold in, which is one of the best things about them, but also getting some normal units out, getting the Daimyo. Obviously this one will become the Shogun, and then some Yumi horse archers as well. I imagine Alapes got his hand axe in. Yes, he does. That would be there. So we'll be able to pump out these wood-based units very, very quickly. I assume he's going to come over to this position first. He's seen that this is where Garneth wants to grab some bits from. And Garneth, I think Garneth's playing too greedy. He's got 2 TCs. He's getting Bowsaw even. Channels is fine, because Channels does give you movement speed on the Gaia Lush, which is what you want. These guys can garrison inside the mana, but they're going to go down so quick. Look at them. There's even a hero. But Tengu Masters, they don't care about you being a hero. Oof. And the deer micro, the Gaia micro from the deer, actually managing to stop the citizen coming in. One Yumi Horse Archer's going to get nommed up by the Carnivora. But the Carnivora, you just need to delete, because the Shogun is going to print his samurais on this Carnivora. You just got to delete it. Got to delete it. Oh, it's just, this feels bad if you're Garneth. Just giving away 3 samurais, basically. He's got 2. Is he going to get 3? 3 samurais for 1 horse archer snipe. Garneth does have his heroes out, does have his hero Mamillos. This is the counter in the classical age, so he's just going to need to get so many more of these. And watchtowers coming in. So watchtowers will be okay to deal with some of the horses potentially. And Tengu Master jumps in. Citizen, nice bit of garrison micro. But the units on the backside are just all getting sliced up by those 3 samurai. And Alapes hidden absolute huge timing on a Garneth that's just sitting back and kind of booming up. Alapes leaving Garneth just for the time being. So Garneth has some time to grab. He still can gather gold. So he's got enough resources to kind of spam out these Mamillos. Only has 2 favor gatherers though. 2 oracles gathering. Alapes isn't making villagers. Okay. This is really weird, because there was a fast heroic Tsukuyomi by somebody else who didn't build villagers. And they were such a similar position. They had like 500 food. Well, that puts Alapes on a bit of a timer. He needs to actually make something happen. I mean, he is. But he needs to realize, okay, he has realized that he hasn't been building villages. So he should be absolutely fine. We'll see what can happen here. There is the swampland being dropped down on Garneth's units. And Garneth he just doesn't have enough stuff, basically. All the red units just swarming in. The hero's being dealt with pretty quickly. How many Tengus are? There's only one Tengu left, but the normal units are more than enough to deal with things. Does he have copper armor and stuff? Yeah, it's starting to get copper in. Once he's got 100 favor, he can get the bronze armor upgrades too. And then he's just in a commanding position. It's time to take out the market rather than the TC. Needs to kind of switch targets on that one. But Garneth, he's got nothing left. He's got so many villagers. 56 villagers and a dream. But what can he really do with it? So the Tengu trying to get something done. Now in come the Yumi Horse Archers, taking out all the citizens on this side. And Alapes has just played a premium Tsukiyomi here. What can you really do about it? Unless you strictly try to counter it. If you just play some kind of normal style, you're just going to lose to it, unfortunately. You need to know it's coming. You don't think it's GG yet? You sure? I mean, Garneth does have double the villagers. Because Alapes wasn't building them for a while. But that's it. Alapes just needs to go. There's no reason to sit around. I mean, 400 gold. In 400 gold's time, Garneth is out of gold. So Alapes just needs to trade. Just basically just trade, and he will be fine. The Shogun is also still at 300 HP. He will be spawning units. The Terma are a good answer to the Yumi Horse Archers, but if Alapes notices that one, he can just move them away, be absolutely fine. But the big ball of units... Yeah, there are watchtowers around, but it's just not enough. Alapes does manage to get heavy in as well. Heavy Naginata Riders, and that's when Garneth has had enough. And Alapes does win the series. We'll give him an update on this one. He just played Tsukiyomi how you expect him to be played at this kind of level. In tournament play, you go fast heroic, you build Tengus, you get your Shogun out, you build units, you just come in and plow on. I think Garneth, we said some of his options that he could have done right at the start. Either he hasn't played against the Tengus, or he underestimated how much they can do, basically. So well played to Alapes. I'm not sure how that affects the standings, but maybe we'll have a look. And we'll see you in the next one.